All right, so monochromatic animal portraits. I liked this background just because I think it's a cute slideshow. So this lesson is going to focus on creating a monochromatic animal painting using 4 tints and shades. So you used monochromatic colors for your pattern painting in one of your squares. Color scheme. Can someone read that for me? Anyone?
Color scheme, plan for organizing colors.
Thank you. Yeah. So color scheme. You guys did 4 different color schemes. It's a plan for organizing your colors, which is good because eventually when you're doing artwork, like you might use color to kind of influence what the viewer thinks or what kind of emotions that they think by looking at it. Design is a plan, organization, or arrangement of elements in a work of art. Freeform shapes are, like we talked about, they're irregular and they're uneven. They're not geometric. Monochromatic. Who can tell me what that is? You don't even have to read it, but monochromatic is what? Mono means
singular.
right. So monochromatic is one color. So you're going to pick one color that you want to use, and then use tints and shades of that color. Posterize. So that's the filter that I'm going to use to break your picture down into a specific number of values. Kind of like a paint by number is what I'm going to make it out of. You're going to have 4 different values once I take your picture and I put the filter on it. Shade is a dark value made by adding black. Tint is a lighter value made by adding white. And like you said, value is the art element that describes the darkness or lightness of an object. So you guys did a value scale where we go from light to dark. We're going to be looking at, 4 different values. So procedure. You guys are going to choose a picture of an animal that you want to paint. It'll need to be 6 by 8, but don't worry about that. I'll make sure it's the right size. But it needs to be in a rectangle and not a square. A rectangle will work best. So I chose, for this example, I chose this squirrel. This is the picture that I wanted to do and that I wanted to paint. So you're going to find a picture that's rectangular and you're going to put it in the media folder in Schoology. So you have to send me that. That's what if you haven't done so already, that's what you're doing today. You have to send me the photo that you intend to draw because I need to put the filter on it and then send it back to you before the next step. So you can start gridding out your paper if you have it. Again, if you don't have it, then you really can't do anything. Once you have the posterized photo back, you're going to go to this site right here. So you would click on this, and this will take you to an app that will help you to put a grid on your portrait. And then I have the instructions right here of what you're going to do. You're going to upload the picture that I sent you back, and I'm going to show you what this looks like. I made it the correct size, so you don't need to alter it at all. You're going to skip to step 5, which is grid. And the top where it says grid dimensions, change it to 6 if your picture is vertical, so it's taller than wide. Then change it to 8 if your picture is horizontal, so it's wider than tall. And then click Apply Grid. Again, I'll show you what that looks like. So this is what's going to happen. I'll send you back your picture. It'll look like mine where it's black and white in different shapes. Then once you use the grid app, it's going to put the grid on top of it. You're going to download it to your Chromebook, and then you're going to use this. This is how you're going to draw it. You should have 48 boxes on it, so it should be 8 boxes across the top if it's horizontal, 6 down the bottom. If you don't have 48 boxes, reach out to me, and then you can share your screen, and I can see what's wrong with it, and then we can fix it. So if you don't have 48 boxes on top of it, then you need to reach out to me. Also, if you're having a problem with your grid, you need to reach out with me. This is tough. And even in class, I have tons of students who have measuring problems. So if you're not sure how to use a ruler, if your grid isn't lining up, you need to let me know so I can work with you step by step. I'm trying this out virtually. This may be challenging. I may have to meet with many of you, which is fine. Just please let me know if you have any problems when you're setting up your grid. It's a lot easier to do it here because I can help you. So I made this step by step, this next part. So all you have to do is open this presentation and follow it along one slide at a time. So you're going to use your ruler and you're going to grid your 12 by 16 manila paper. So again, that's like that tan paper. You're going to line up the beginning of the ruler with the top edge of your paper and make a mark every 2 inches. And then you're going to draw a grid. So this is what this is going to look like. So line up the beginning of the measurements with the edge of your paper. So you have your paper, make sure you line up the edge of the ruler with the edge of the paper. Some of the rulers start at the edge of the ruler. Some of them come in. So you need to make sure, you need to see where your ruler starts. So this is where you can follow along step by step. So it should look like this all the way across. You're going to make a mark every 2 inches. So at 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, I've made a little line you can see there. Make sure that you're using the inches side. You're going to go to the bottom of the page and do the same exact thing. So it should look like that. Then you're going to turn your paper and you're going to do the same thing on the other sides. So across the top I did 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And the same thing across the bottom. And then once you do that, you're going to connect your lines. So you're going to draw a grid. And if you line up your ruler right, then your lines should match. So you're going to connect your lines. So I did it going one way. And then I connect my lines going the other way so that I have a grid on my paper now. And if you did this properly, you're going to have 48 boxes just like your photograph does. So it'll look like that. If you don't have 48 boxes, meet with me so we can figure out what's wrong. If you don't have the same number of squares on the paper and the photograph, your drawing is going to be off. So you have 48 boxes on the manila paper. You're going to have 48 boxes on your photograph, and then you're going to transfer them one at a time. So this is what the 2 will look like, same number of squares, and then what you would do is just draw one box at a time. Corresponding boxes you're going to draw. And this is how you can use lines to help you draw something out in perspective. It'll help you looking at the lines where how close things are to the edges, like what parts of the boxes and the corners that they go out of. And I'll get to this once you're ready to get to this part. So here is my example. If you have access to a printer, you can print your photo out. Or those of you that are here, I can print it out for you. Make general outlines for your 4 different values. So you can see, this is the example that I used. They're prairie dogs. And I kind of made a general outline on all of the shapes. So it doesn't get super detailed. I didn't follow all of the lines and pixels exactly. I kind of like smoothed it out a little bit. So what I did was I outlined my shapes, my different colors on there. And then once you transfer it onto good paper, so like I said before, normally we would do this in pencil and we would transfer one at a time just like this. You're going to draw those shapes onto the manila paper. And then you can number it if you want to make it easier for you to paint. I'm going to go over this part later, but basically you're going to trace it onto good paper. You're going to choose what color of paint you want to use. And you're going to paint your paintings. This is my finished one, so I'd use blue as my color. I painted 4 different values. Actually, this is 5. Yours is 4 to make it a little bit easier. But you have 4 different shades of your color, tints and shades. And then here's some student examples. So this is someone's dog, another dog. And then this is a clownfish. And then the rubric. So what you'll be graded on. Okay, so that was a lot. And like I said, I'm going to break this down as we get moving just because I know you're going to forget your later steps now. So as for right now, all you guys need to do is